What up guys, Payne here once again and welcome back to another episode of my PSG career mode on FIFA 14. The transfer window is still open. We've had a couple of players come in, we've had a couple of players go. It's been interesting, you know, considering that I was given something like over 100 million to spend. As you can see, Gundogan is linked. He is possibly coming to PSG here in this summer transfer window. All I had to do was offer him a contract. He did decline the first one, but all I had to do was change around his team status of what he will be doing. I changed that to crucial first team player. Even though he's at the age of 22, I feel as though he can come in and get that job done. Eventually he did accept that. All I had to do was say, yeah, let's bring him to the club, and just basically accept the offer. Simple as. So there we have it. That is indeed my third sign-in with PSG. I've already brought in now 2 Dortmund players. I know. It's the team everyone goes to, isn't it, on YouTube when they do a career mode. They just go straight to Dortmund and try and just ransack them. Bring all their best players to their team. And just leave poor Dortmund to get on with it. But before that contract was accepted by Gundogan, he went to the press and he's like, no, I'm staying at Dortmund, don't worry about it. And then the next article that you see, PSG signed Gundogan for £30 million. So kind of a bargain, because Dortmund, they were looking for, I think it was 36 million. I'll probably have to go back and check that. So I kind of, I was a bit of a cheapskate there. I tried to, you know, bring it down a bit and save a bit of money with that deal. So Gundogan is in the team. If you guys missed my first episode, Ibrahimovic is out. He's going to be out for 3 months. It's a long time for him to be out, especially being one of our top players. So you're going to have to put up with the likes of Cavani. And seeing that the transfer window is still open, I may look to bring in a new striker, because I did get rid of Maurice in my second episode, I believe. I got rid of him simply because I don't really see me using him this season. I would like to bring in a new attacker, you know, just a complete forwards, a complete striker. I know that we've got Lavezzi and we've got Menez who can play on the left and the right, especially if I'm playing with the 4-3-3 formation. But eventually, as the season goes on, as this career mode goes on, I want to be changing the formation around, trying to see what works for me. The majority of the time it'll probably be the 4-2-3-1 formation, the basic modern formation that everyone seems to use nowadays. So we'll just have to see how we get on as the season goes on. But our first game of the season here in the French Ligue, PSG go 1-0 down against Montpellier away from home. What was Mats Hummels doing? He looked like he was drunk on the disco floor, you know, and Ter Stegen kind of disappointed that he couldn't have maybe get a hand to that and prevented it from going into the back of the net. But what else can you do when your centre-halves who are supposed to be protecting you are acting drunk? They're all over the place. And it's a big area for Ter Stegen to cover, you know, with the goal and everything. So Montpellier, they were going to score that all day long. But it was disappointing that we couldn't have done anything about it that early on in the game. So we was on the back foot immediately, pretty much straight from kick-off. And we had a lot to do, because I'm sure Montpellier will be shutting up shop, you know, trying to contain this. Maxwell looking for the centre. I was pushing my team up as much as possible. As you can see, Hummels almost in an attacking position. He eventually found Kabay, who struck the ball with his weak foot, his left foot, and it went in. I took a chance there. Goalkeeper from Montpellier, fully stretched, trying to get maybe just the slightest of fingertip to it, but it just wasn't enough, as it goes flying into the top right hand corner for Kabay. Fantastic goal, brilliant technique as well, just forcing that one in. Absolutely tremendous stuff from Kabay. So back in the game, it was always going to happen, you know. PSG, they're a goal scoring team, and just look at the fantastic teamwork there from Lucas to Cavani to Kabay. Brilliant stuff. It was on Kabay's weak foot again, but unfortunately it didn't work out this time around. So the game still stood at 1 apiece for both PSG and Montpellier. A couple of minutes later on, Pastore, who seems to get quite a lot of heat in the FIFA community, did alright there. Had a cracking shot with his left foot. It does say that his best foot is his right, but his position is left. I'm not too sure what that's all about, but he had a cracking shot. Goalkeeper got a save. We got a corner out of it. It was Cavani who almost made it 2-1. It was Cavani who found Pastore making the run, and he should have done better there with his right foot. Should have planted that one into the back of the net, but of course I went for the finesse shot. I was looking for something special from Pastore, but it just didn't work out. So still 1-1, just a couple of minutes remaining. Montpellier with the last chance on goal, and that was it, the end of the game. 1-1 was the final score. It certainly wasn't the best result, but at least we came away with a point at the start of the season, and we can just progress from there and work on top of that. As you can see here as well, I did put in some inquiries for the likes of Benzema. Yeah, Benzema could be returning to PSG, but Bayern Munich eventually came in and signed him up for 26.5. And I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I know some of you are probably wondering, why are you signing up Lacazette when you've already got him in your Swansea career? Well, here's a secret. I actually recorded this start of the career mode with PSG way before I actually did the January transfer window with Swansea when Lacazette moved. So there we have it. That's the secret. So I went after Lacazette because at the time it was a bit on and off. Shall I do a PSG career mode? Shall I not? Obviously I went ahead with the idea and wanted to try something new. So I went after Lacazette. As you know, Benzema moved to Bayern Munich, and I was thinking of maybe going after Diego Costa, but I thought, you know what, no. I can save him for another season. Should I sign Diego Costa eventually? Let me know in the comment section below. It'd be interesting to know what you guys think. Should I sign Diego Costa? It's out there in the air. You know, I'm not saying that I'm going to definitely go after him. It's just there for maybe you guys to discuss in the comments below. Anyway, PSG's next fixture of this video was to be played back at home in the French League. So a set 3 points here was crucial, seeing that we had drew our first game of the season, and it was against the Ajaccio. It's always good to get off to a good start in the season, you know, start accumulating points after points. If you don't, then you're going to find yourself a bit lower down come the end of the season in that table. But Matuidi with such a dire shot on goal, you know, when the attack was looking positive by PSG, and that goes and happens. But Mats Hummels after the corner, good header, there just wasn't enough power behind it. The keeper got a hand to it, the ball fell out to the feet of Lucas, and again the ball went out for another corner after the ball took a deflection. Lavezzi swung that in, seeking out Hummels again, and this time he got his goal. He got his first goal for PSG, and, you know, just taking a look at that replay, it was fantastically done. It really was. Lavezzi swinging it in, and just look at how cool and calm and collected Hummels is on his chest. Swings that one around, turning away from the centre half, and he just almost like toe-pecks that into the bottom corner. So PSG 1-0 up at home. Come the second half, Ajaccio wanted to get back on level terms with PSG. A League went for the cheeky chip over the top of Ter Stegen. Didn't work out, went out for a corner for Ajaccio, and this time they made it count. Ter Stegen was fully stretched, hoping to get a fingertip to it, but Zubar was on the far post, totally unmarked, wasn't even picked up by any of my players, and he just nutted that one in. A low diving header and made it 1-1. New signing Gundogan came on for PSG around about the 60th or so minute. Hopefully he could make the difference and push PSG forwards, trying to get that winning goal possibly. We got a corner. Menez, who had come on as well as a substitute, swung in the cross instead of Lavezzi and found the head of Thiago Silva with a captain's goal for PSG. 2-1 up, and surely that would be all she wrote for Ajaccio. You know, not their confidence with the goal being scored in the 72nd minute. They'd find it increasingly harder to try and get back into this one, as they had done in just at the start of the second half. But they were persistent as ever, and it was Cavalli for Ajaccio who made it 2-2, back on level terms once again for the second time in this game. And that was, of course, the final score. As you can imagine, it was very frustrating when they scored that second goal, that equaliser. We should be winning games like that, really. I know it's still early days, but as I said, it's always good to get a good start. Cavani needs to step up to the plate big time. I need to start utilising him better. maybe a change in formation is on the horizon, guys. Anyway, that is pretty much it for this episode. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. Do stay tuned, as you will find out whether Alexander Lacazette does sign for PSG. Thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you all in the next one.